Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us at Detention number 51, Words Have Power at Primary Stages ESPA. My name is Sarah Matucci, and I'm the director of ESPA, which is the Einhorn School of Performing Arts here at Primary Stages. A little bit about us. Primary Stages is an off-Broadway theater company in New York City. For 36 years, we have been producing new playwright-driven work. And 12 years ago, Primary Stages started ESPA, the School for Emerging and Established Professional Playwrights, Actors, Directors, and Producers. We've had classes in our Midtown studios and now online. And our goal is to have artists learn in a non-judgmental environment from professionals currently working in the field. But just as important as what happens in our classroom, we want to create community and the opportunity for collaboration. We want everyone in our family of artists to find their people, the artistic partnerships that they can take out of the classroom and into the world, which is why we are celebrating ESPA Fest this week and tonight, Detention. Detention is a program where our playwrights create pieces based on a writing prompt that we give and are then paired with ESPA actors and directors to bring that work to life. We've been producing Detention for almost 10 years at this point, performing at venues like Jimmy's Number 43 in the East Village and the Cherry Lane Theater. This is our 51st Detention, and we were not going to let the obstacle of social distancing stop us from collaborating and creating. So we find new ways, right? We forge new paths because creativity lets us breathe and dream and escape and imagine, especially right now. Our prompt for this Detention was born out of a statement made by then President-elect Joe Biden on January 6th. He said to us, at their best, words can inspire. At their worst, they can incite. As we've seen throughout history, and even in these past couple of months, words have immense power. They have the potential to instill great wisdom and insight, or incite violence, depending on where you put the emphasis. For this Detention, we asked our artists to think about the power of words, both our greatest tool for hope and our greatest weapon of fear, and create pieces about the power of words and the implications on those that choose to wield them. With hope and change in sight, we hope that we can empower you to use your words to provide insight into who we are and incite change toward everything we could be. To see the program for tonight's event, please click on the link in the description of this YouTube stream. This is going to take you to a webpage on the Primary Stages website that links to the program order and our playwrights, actors, and directors for each piece. To learn more about Primary Stages and ESPA, visit us at primarystages.org. Before I turn it over to these amazing performers, I want to say thank you to the playwrights, the directors, the actors, diving into this crazy challenge and creating in what still is a new way. And thank you, the audience, for being here and going on this adventure with us. You are the final piece that brings work to life, and we are thrilled that you are now part of this family. On behalf of the entire Primary Stages and ESPA team, thank you so much. It is a joy to see you here tonight. Enjoy the show.
Hey, buddy. Why am I whispering? I'm playing hide and go seek. Yeah, I don't want them to find me. Are they my friends? Hey, buddy. I have to go. But I love you. Can you put your mom back on? I'm okay. Honey, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was They made me move around, and the reception is terrible. I'm not sure. Underneath Longworth, I think. Between Longworth and Cannon, maybe. Yeah, I was just bringing some toner. Yes, it's nothing. It's yeah, they're banging. They're banging on the door. Hey, don't worry. Don't worry. They're not hunting me. Just the members. It's the members they want. They barricaded the doors, and I think the police are still outside. I think. It'll be fine. Yeah, the banging stopped. I think they moved on. Asks. Some of them. Not many. No, I don't know why. They don't tell me. They just don't wear them. In here, maybe 50. Probably a few feet apart, I'd say. Some of the members are telling others to put them on, and they're fighting. Me, what am I supposed to do? They don't listen to people like me. I just... Yes, I know how long I've worked here. I have no idea what he said, no. There were just alarm bells, and everyone started running. I was in the room, and I don't care what he said. I just want to go, okay? I just came to work today. I don't want this. I don't want this at all. Hold on. I think they're back. I don't want this. I just want to come home to you.
Just so you know, I've never made a consistent cup of coffee in my life. So if you're expecting me to be making you like great cups of coffee every morning, it's not going to happen.
Oh, mornings. Okay.
To be honest, I didn't think Zoom dating would work.
Neither did I.
This is the best time I've had since when did the pandemic shut everything down? February?
March.
I don't want the Zoom to end, but before it does, I have one question I have to ask. I need you to tell me if you're...
I'm not married, and I am not looking for something on the side. This date is truly legit, and every single thing I said in my profile is true. Every single word. Everything. I promise.
It's not that. Although that's good to hear. Actually, it's kind of a silly question.
What?
I hope it's okay to ask. I mean, I hope you won't take this the wrong way.
What?
Is that a banana on your shelf, or are you just happy to see me?
What? You mean that?
I've been trying to figure out a way to work that into the conversation. I mean, it was there on your shelf behind you the whole time. It's kind of hard not to notice.
Oh, hard.
I didn't mean...
Oh, is this going to be one of those calls?
You wanted me to see it, didn't you?
No, there was no subliminal message there. I promise. Although, I mean, there's a metaphor there with there's like something stuck on a shelf instead of out there in the real world. And it's a pretty apt metaphor for my life right now during the pandemic.
Yours, mine, and everyone else's. That question, it wasn't too much too soon, was it?
No,
I mean, with all this correctness nowadays, and
don't be silly.
you agree that if we're going to work out, we shouldn't we should be able to say anything. We shouldn't hide anything, right?
Right. I mean, I am a bit relieved that we did spend this entire time without mentioning president, Congress, the Capitol. I mean, yesterday they were just storming the Capitol, rioters. So we've managed to go through this whole call without a word on it, not one word.
Because we were focused on each other and not politics.
Also because we have the same views.
How do you know?
Well, I read your profile, and we wouldn't be on this Zoom date unless we were politically compatible.
What if I had a different point of view?
But you don't.
But what if?
I can tell. I mean, in this Zoom session, you let me glimpse into your soul. And I mean, now I know who you are and what you believe and what you're thinking. And whereas I mean, I actually can't understand what Trump voters are thinking.
In order to understand someone, you have to try.
I can't. I mean, they're all crazy. It's like they're coming from, I mean, I don't even know where.
It's not that hard. You have to open your heart to them and listen. You don't have to agree on everything, but you do have to take the time to hear them and learn who they are, even if you disagree. And sometimes you have to let them disappoint you. I lied on my profile.
What?
I lied about one little thing, just one thing. In order to get a date with you, I saw your profile and your video, and I thought we would hit it off. So I fixed my profile. I know that, like everyone else in this city, you don't believe that life is sacred from conception, or that we should make sure that the courts have justices who support the right.
Wait. This is a joke, right?
The government shouldn't regulate how religion is run.
Wait a minute. What are you saying?
I'm saying that so many liberals that I've met who claim to want diversity are shocked and offended and angry when somebody like me believes differently. Then why can't we all just be open to listen to each other and understand each other? Why is it all so complicated? But when I saw your video, I could tell that you were different from them. And now that we've talked, I know that you're open to other ideas. And
you're not telling me you voted for Trump, are you?
Would it matter?
You're a Republican. Okay. For the last 4 years, for the last 8 years, all of you Republicans have just lied to get whatever you want.
I didn't.
Well, you just lied on your profile.
But that was
If you voted for Trump, then his words are your words. His lies are your lies. Like how you said you guys would never fill a Supreme Court seat until after the election.
But we had to protect the unborn babies.
Oh, fetuses.
Babies. From abortion at any time.
That is just the kind of lies and exaggerations that I'm talking about, because no one is actually calling for the killing of babies. I mean, who would do that? No one. That's who. But, well, when they're born, you just you deny them health care and you let them be born into cages and they're separated from their families and they're suffering irreparable trauma.
I'm talking about protecting life, not whatever you're talking about.
Okay, well, how can you say that life is sacred and then lie about the pandemic?
I wear a mask.
Okay. And then how can you also deny climate change and allow for mineral drilling and remove us from the Paris Climate Accords? And then all human and animal and plant life will be extinct. I mean, how can you do that?
That's what I'm saying. All life is sacred and deserves legal acknowledgement. And
if all of you Republicans would just go away, we could actually save the planet. We could protect civil rights. We could have social safety nets so that no one in society would go hungry.
You want me to go away?
Well, you might as well have just told those mobs to storm the Capitol yourself. I mean, your vote, your words have impact. I mean, your words threw that fire extinguisher at that cop and killed him. You, personally.
I had nothing to do
There's
with that.
nothing more for you to say.
But I don't understand.
I mean, this call is over.
I thought we were. You yelled at me. All I did was tell you that You talk about how the government should take care of people, but you were mean to me. How is that okay? The way you speak to someone matters. I would never do anything to hurt you. Just because I believe that life is sacred does not mean that I am not a bad person. I shouldn't have changed my profile. I'm sorry. Why did I think you would? It was nice meeting you, Rob.
Wait, Kathy.
I don't call me or. I never, ever, ever want to see or talk. Goodbye, Rob.
I'm sorry.
His eyes said it all. Deflated, like when you realize someone is exactly who you think they are. Not in a good way. In the way where he spends each night praying. Praying that the seed of doubt, or maybe it's disappointment, or distrust, praying it will disappear and signify that it's okay, safe to love with his full heart again. But he realized the prayers must have fallen on deaf ears or been misplaced, a waste, because suddenly I am exactly who he thought I was. Who he must have known was behind the bobby pins and ballerina buns. He didn't want to think about it. He had to have thought of it, worried, studied, and arrived at the conclusion to not believe. Is that an act of faith? Courage? Concluding to cancel the thought that this is too good to be true. That taking a chance would end up the way it always does. The thought that 400 something years of history, of truth, no longer equaled pain if the love was pure enough. Like his eyes the first time he finally came into the studio. Armand's little sister goes to the charter school up the street, and every Monday, as I was wrapping up jazz too, I would see the most beautiful curls and coils framing her caramel hands cupped around her eyes, pressed to the window, as if one more moment would knit dance into her destiny. He had her on his shoulders. And I couldn't help but wonder if those were shoulders I could be lifted upon. Eyes I could get lost in and reemerge more honest. When we finally went out, I was captivated by his charisma, the electricity of his movement, the way he took up space. Another soul who knew how to command center stage, command passion and pleasure. I didn't tell Daddy when he moved in. I couldn't. I remembered too many dinner table tales about men who looked like Armand, who would never be good enough for his passerota. Yet at my own dinner table, I watched as he ate in silence, chewing Daddy's words that came from my mouth. I wasn't thinking straight. Quarantine was driving me fucking crazy, and I had to close my dance studio. And the news was so heavy, but that's all you wanted to watch. So I tried to watch, to feel, to see. I was so upset with the noise. The firecrackers telling stories of freedom or resistance or tyranny well into the night. Singing your song. A song I didn't know, but tried to hum, or at least listen, or appreciate. But all I heard was violence. All I saw was destruction. Little fires everywhere, dancing across the expanse between what makes you, you, and me, me. As much as I want to, I don't know how to extinguish the fires.
Nope. I'm not gonna sign it. It may be, but I am not gonna sign it. You got plenty of names down there. You don't need mine. I said no, run along. Now I got things to do. I don't need no reason. I just don't feel like signing. I'm not using my name to bring down the biddle. Isn't that what you kids call him? The biddle? Whatever. I got chores, things to do. So scooch.
Goose, breakfast.
I'm coming, Decky. Hold on. Jesus, he just ate. He's forgetting, keeps accusing me of starving him. Oh Lord, I promise I won't do this to you. When time comes, I plan on dying in my sleep. No dwindling. Not for me.
Patty! Patty!
Would you mind? Thank you, sweetheart. Oh, you're a godsend. He loves you too. Big as the world. I wish you'd gotten more time with him when he was all here. I suppose your memories will have to do. What time do you need to head back? Uh-huh. That'll be fine.
Duck, goose. Pop-Pop is here.
Oh, no, never mind. No need. It's all nonsense talk. I know the difference. Yeah, he misses you too. Wants to know where you are all the time. Gets white hot angry. That damn girl, what's she doing letting you do all the work? Don't matter how many times I tell him you away at school, he forgets. Maybe forgetting is one of God's late blessings. No, I told you, I don't want to sign that thing. The Danbury twins? Oh, Lord, all loose screws. Wait, when you were in the choir, did he ever hurt you? So not your fight. The movement. Me too? Oh, I know about it. I read. I may not have your fancy education, but I read. Well, I'm going to start my own movement. I'm calling it Without Me. Oh, stop! I'm not on board for a petition to end the career of one of our clergy. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words like this about our minister, no ma'am, words can ruin a life. So what if he did what is so bad? Some of us long for that kind of attention, like me. I never had to swat away any advances. Nope, not even when I was young. I am not condoning rape or any violent thing like that. I'm talking about construction workers talking crude, or politicians who overhug, or even ministers who put their hands on your knees or whatever when they're counseling you. I always wished a little of that would come my way. No, I understand it makes you uncomfortable, but attention, that kind, makes me happy. I feel seen. I tell anybody I want. I don't give a shit about blowback whizzing my way. No. Let me tell you something. You are a good-looking woman for now. Your daddy's side, no doubt. Men always liked you, but be careful who you take down. It's easy to see things so black and white. Pop's one of them. His caretakers complain to me he can't keep his hands to himself. Ask them to take off their clothes. Tries to kiss them when he gets bathed. You want to add Pop to your petition? Of course he might not know better, but maybe Biddle doesn't know better either. Maybe instead of condemning him, you might want to talk to him, teach him. You want to be a teacher, don't you? Well, teach. Let him know how it makes you feel. Instead, you come around all fired up. He has to go. And what happens then? You throw away the good with the bad. Biddle's a good man. You know he is. He baptized you, married me, buried your Nana. He is our family for years.
Help me. I need to go.
Oh, Lord, no, he can wait. Let me tell you, Pop, not one bit different than when he was playing with a full hand. He loves the ladies. I think he was always a little disappointed in me, wanted his daughter to be a looker. But you came along. Long legs and lean, you made up for it. He loves showing you off. Now that is a brick shithouse. Oh, so what? He didn't know any better, and neither did I. Tell you the truth, I was jealous and proud all at the same time. I know what you're saying. I hear ya. Do you hear me? Spend some time with Minister Biddle. If you still feel the same way, then come back to me. We'll talk some more, and I will think about putting my name down, but not until then.
Patty?
No. It's all right. I'll go. Dad, you're okay.
No. You're wrong. You're just wrong. You're not hearing me. I get that my friends don't want to listen to me anymore, don't want to hear about it anymore, but you're a therapist. I pay you to hear me. Ludicrous. Changing a word is not the answer. It doesn't make what happened to me disappear. Voilà, maintenant c'est parti. This experience I had, not anyone else's experience, not a common group experience that can exist under one label. I lived it. I continue to relive it. My assault, my beating, the raid, the riot, the incursion, that's the word, incursion, a hostile takeover of my personal being. It must be honored. It must be called by its right name. Survivor? It's a label that doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not a survivor. I haven't survived. I haven't survived anything. I was victimized. Something horrible, which you want to make unspeakable, to make deniable by changing a word, happened to me through no fault of my own. Through no fault of my own. That is victimization. Someone victimized me. I am a victim. Why do I need to bury that by using a word a label that doesn't describe my experience, who I am right now. Let me reclaim that word, victim. It's not a bad word, right? Well, say something. Let me know you're hearing me. You're on mute. 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 Your mic is not working. Type it in the chat. Oh God, I better get a discount. Abracadabra? What the fuck is abracadabra? It means what I speak is what I create. Oh, so are you shaming me now? Let's talk about that word, shame.
I can trust you, right? All of our conversations before, you meant everything you said. Because everyone on earth is suspicious. Who's Jack? Why would the moon god choose Jack? Why does Jack get to take their place and save humanity? What's so special about Jack? And I'm starting to listen to them, you know? Why me? Why did you choose me? I want to believe that I was meant for this, born for this even. But something in the back of my brain keeps nagging at me that I'm in over my head. That maybe the gods and the world would have been better off choosing someone who was a dice roll, wasn't it? Choosing me. It could have been anyone up here with you, saving the world. What happens after I take your place? I saw what you and the other gods are planning, and I don't want to believe it. Because if what I saw is true, then that means you've been lying to me. It means that all those times as a kid when I thought the moon was following me to protect me, it was actually just a story I kept telling myself to feel better. A story that you kept reinforcing because you were there every night. You watched me become more and more desperate for someone to finally see me. And with every word you spoke, you lifted me up and saved me. But they were just dreams, carefully laid in front of me to lure me in, and it worked. It worked because I was gullible and naive. Maybe I still am. Everyone on earth is suspicious, and they're right. The moon is just a rock in the sky and you don't care about me. Why would you? How could a god that lives forever care so deeply for someone that is gone as quickly as they appeared? Dice roll or not, it landed on me. And I get to decide at the end of it all. And you can't take that away from me because I'm not listening to you anymore. I am the one you chose, and that was your first mistake.
It started as kind of a lark. Like, I just took a bunch of conspiracy stuff that was already out there. You know, JFK's assassination, Roswell. I used to try and figure out what kind of idiots believe anything they read. I thought it might be fun to see if there was a limit. Kind of a sociology experiment. That's what I majored in. Ostensibly to help people, but I knew it was more fun to mess with them and easier. My master thesis was on how cults recruit. My God, people beg to be controlled. So anyway, I got social media to explode with Pizzagate and the birther stuff and all that bullshit about election fraud to millions of followers. No, I didn't feel guilty for messing with people. I'm not responsible for other people's stupidity. And I'm entitled to have some fun, aren't I? Lots of people think I'm a high-ranking military official. Love that. I'm here because I thought, well, after the boneheads realize that the chief jerk isn't going to save the world from satanic, cannibalistic pedophiles, and they've been played, they'll probably have breakdowns and maybe seek help from people like you. Then I could start a new one about sadomasochist, shrink, cabal, whatever. But I need input from one of you. Like, how would you convince me, a client, to act? Leave? No, I paid for my session. You can't kick me out. And I'm offering you an opportunity here. Do you know how much money you can make when you have several million followers? We can collaborate. You wouldn't believe how many people donated to my research. PayPal had to add servers. Your 200 an hour is peanuts. Well, I guess I started by messing with my little brother and sister. I convinced my parents that my little brother burned off the cat's ears with the fireplace matches, and my sister smashed the precious Eight Immortals face. They were so pissed. Do you know I got a professor fired? He gave me a B. The dumb shit who didn't understand my paper because it was over his head. Turns out tenure doesn't count when you are charged with sexual assault. And the best part is his husband left him. So anyway, we got off track. Hashtag sadomasochists, American Psychological Association. Just put in civil rights and it goes viral. Stop. Seriously? I thought you were on board. You'd rather listen to losers' problems for hours when you'd be making 1,000 times more than you've ever. No, I won't delete it. What are you gonna do, assault me? I'm filming this, bring it on.
Liz, Greg, you guys home? Oh, she's probably watching me. Let me.
You don't have to. Shh. Cheyenne, hi.
Liz, is that you? It's me, Cheyenne.
I know. Yes, it's Alyssa.
Well,
What's up?
Can I come in? I need to talk to you.
It's not a good time right now.
Liz, it's Cheyenne from 3 houses over, the Rambler with the gnomes out front.
I know.
You have a cactus on your porch.
Yes.
Why?
I'm from Arizona. It reminds me of home.
But it's gonna die. You know, there's a freeze warning tonight.
Well, I just thought it'd be nice, so I'll.
Why would you get a plant knowing you're gonna kill it? You need to move it inside.
Greg's allergic.
To a cactus? You gonna let me in, Liz, or you gonna leave me outside in the cold like this cactus?
We can't have anyone in for a few days.
It's just gonna be a few minutes.
We're under quarantine.
Quarantine? For what?
You know.
No, I don't think I do know.
Greg came into contact with somebody who had it, And now we have to wait and see when he gets his test results back.
You know that shit's a hoax, right? There's no virus.
Okay. Later, Cheyenne. What? Cheyenne, what's up?
You got some toilet paper I can borrow?
Huh?
You know, TP. We can't find any at the stores, and I saw Greg come in a few days ago with a giant pack of it. I just figure since it's the two of you,
Wait.
maybe you could
Were
spare
you
some.
watching Greg unload the groceries?
Well, it's not like that. I was just on the porch, and he happened to be carrying the packages in. You guys must really like Doritos. I have never seen a bag that big.
Well, we don't have any extra, and even if we did, we're under quarantine for a week.
Right. The virus.
Yes, the virus. Look, Cheyenne, I'm gonna go. I'll see you in a few days.
Well, where you need to go? You're quarantined, right? And where's Greg? His car in here. He's supposed to be quarantined too?
He went to the store.
The store? Well, supposed to be quarantined. Be a shame if people at the bank heard that he was gallivanting about, spreading a deadly virus to everyone.
Doesn't work at a bank. What do you want?
What could be so damn important? You
Cheyenne?
need to leave your big fancy house to go to the store in the middle of a global pandemic. I know it's not
my God.
toilet paper.
We need a baby wipes. Okay? He went to the store to get baby wipes.
What did you just say?
Baby wipes.
Are you fucking with me?
Huh?
Did you just say baby wipes to me?
Look, I'm gonna go.
No, you're not. Girl, I never would have guessed it, but I'll be damned. You are one of us.
Us?
Fucking baby wipes. I'm glad because I kind of hated you, but now I hate you a little less.
What the hell are you talking about?
You don't know what baby wipes is?
I know what baby wipes is. A baby wipe is.
No, you don't. Look, Liz, we're smack dab in the middle of a revolution, a movement led by patriots like you and me. We're sick and tired of what's being done to our great country, and it's time that freedom-loving Americans drew a line in the sand. Except we ain't gonna let them cross it like Obama did. Nope. Don't let the fake news lie to you. Your soul knows the truth, and the truth is about to set all of us free. When he says the code word, baby wipes, just know that shit's about to go down. When you hear it, you better be ready, Freddie, because he's going to declare martial law and put this country back on the right track. You see, back in World War II, after the Japs bombed Pearl Harbor, the U.S. government started wrangling up all the Japs in America just in case they were sympathetic to their Jap cousins across the ocean.
Please stop saying
You know,
that.
them Orientals love to start some shit.
Oh,
So we put them in these intermittent camps. They did it way too fast, though. Didn't have proper plumbing, housing, food, and whatever else you need. Japs started getting sick. I think some of them, probably the weak ones, died, from poor hygiene and conditions and all. So some government scientists invented baby wipes so they wouldn't have to take showers or use toilet paper to keep them alive. And now, the liberal left wants to round up all the freedom-loving patriots and put us in intermittent camps so the blacks and the Spanish and the gays can take control of this country and push their liberal agenda. They want to wipe us clean with the baby wipes, but see, we are the clean ones, and they are the ones who need the washing.
Look, I'm gonna leave some toilet paper outside for you later tonight. You can come and grab it, okay? Okay. All right. Bye, Cheyenne. Bye.
Soon, a broken statue buried neath the headstone on which I shall carve his name. The beast shall lie silent and tamed. He is a beast of wood. Tall timbers lining mountains, a briar patch at the base of his majesty gives way to the mightiness of my call. As I crumble into cannonballs to crush the villagers below, fathers, mothers, children, all punished for the fuel they feed to the foul seductions reflecting in his glass. For 1,000 fortnights, I, most notorious feeder of his tainted love, do now declare war upon his flesh, poisoning my sweet and tender contributions to his ascent, exercising my memories of his scent by summoning God in hell to shame him to pieces with swords and arrows and bullets and knives, leaving him slightly alive that I might stand before what is left, the king of my life, and weep acid tears upon his perfection, burning his flesh with the last drops of my affection. No. Stillness of water draweth in, dry up, O drought, sting mine eyes. As I rebuild my empire without his lies, pumped into my heart, kiss by kiss, spit spilling from his tongue. I long for him still. My addiction, so cultivated, so nuanced, draws a line between my needs and my wants. His death will be the death of my youth. Our battleground, an awakening of my cleansed spirit, arraigned by a motive filth. To be foolish and dirty again? To be unbroken and unholy again? Such dreaming is all for naught, for reality cackles through the cruel chill of this day. This day I shall choose my honor. This day I choose my honor and promise retribution through the glare of heaven's eye. This day, I have discovered the only choices left to make are mine. He shall have no warning, there shall only be the strike. Leaving me alone and in this sepulchre that I shall learn to suffer in a private way. His wood shall be the wood of my fire. My heat will not forgive me, lest I forgive myself.
Would you like a cup of coffee? I'm not usually one to brag, but has been written up in the paper quite a few times. Don't tell anyone, but I like to add a good amount of nutmeg. You know, my husband John and I built this diner. The entire community came together to help put up these walls. This place has become the hub of the whole town. You know, a place where folks can pull up a chair and feel right at home. I take care of my family here. So, Janet tells me that you're a reporter from Chicago. I'm impressed. I mean, it's not an easy profession for a sweet girl like yourself. I admire your drive. But you must understand, you've made my brothers and sisters quite nervous.
Now, I see no reason why we all can't get along. This town is so welcoming and forgiving. Well, I'm sure there's a place for even you here. You know, you remind me of my younger self. I used to live in Chicago too. I was stifled and depressed, lost in the endless shuffle of concrete and noise. Oh, so much noise. Do you ever feel lost like that? If it wasn't for John in this community, well, I would still be a lost soul. He found me and gave me over to the Almighty God, and through the flames of initiation, I was reborn like the phoenix that sits inside our souls. And now, every time one of my brothers and sisters takes a sip of my coffee or a bite of my pastry, we connect on a deeper level. They come to me for guidance, and I feed their stomach and their soul. I'm grateful every day to God for the opportunity. He is all around us, protecting us from the horrors of the outside world. And when he gets strong enough, he will set the world on its correct path, burn it to the ground, and start anew with us at his side. I hear his voice ringing inside my head. He wants you to stay. We see your potential for greatness here. Our benevolent one can help you become the person you were always meant to be. You will be admired, respected, perhaps even adored, if you just give yourself over to us. What do you say? No? Do you have any idea what you're toying with? I am the only person who can hold him back from his cravings for destruction. Every night he screams to be released unto humanity to destroy the imperfect. And every night I beg him just a little longer. We can save even just a few more souls before we set the world on fire. Oh no. No. It's too late for you to leave. Our God still wants you. And what he wants, he shall have.
Fuck you, mia loku kutsi ela ela. Don't you dare fucking mess with the Greeks, especially when they're going to Greece, the seat of human civilization, the birthplace of drama, all those powerful goddesses, and really good food. We are talking sweet figs, smooth yogurt dressing, heart-healthy cuisine, not this Parmigiani-laden, gooey, shitty South Jersey watered-down imitation Italian, you freak. 2 weeks is all I want. Did you ever see my big fat Greek wedding? Well, you should, because it wasn't going to be at some shitty beach town down the shore, but in Athens, with a second ceremony at the gardenia-scented island of Aegina, which dates back to 500 BCE. Why doesn't your face change? I can't get your face to change no matter what I say. I can scream like this, or I can whisper like this, but I cannot get your mouth to move or your eyes to focus. Do you know an empathy glance? It looks like this. Forget it. I've got us locked in this walk-in freezer, so I will get something out of you. Anyway, the second wedding ceremony was going to be at the temple of Epheia, and then dancing in the courtyard of the monastery at St. Nectarios. And this sweet parcel here, this lump of love, was to be converted into ashes. This is Dimitra. She is the effusive 20-year-old dead tabby, and my cousin's wedding wish was to have her cat brought back to Athens and have her remains sprinkled over the Acropolis. Now, what do you say? You talk about family, about us being a family here. Well, you wouldn't have any customers if it wasn't for me. Did you know that Mrs. Osborne comes here every Thursday and Friday night, even though she has lost her sight and her sense of taste? Why? To chat with me. She sits at my corner table, orders the osso buco, and we chat. Help me, I think I'm falling in love again. When I get that crazy feeling, I know I'm in trouble again. I'm in trouble, 'cause you're a rambler and a gambler and a sweet-talking ladies' man. And you love your loving. That made her cry. Last Thursday was the 50th anniversary of her husband's wedding proposal. She asked for a song. I got a $100 tip. Save your applause. If you were really appreciative, you'd give me the 2 weeks off. If you fire me, you'll lose half your clientele. No, I don't want a cappuccino. I just want to be listened to with empathy. And yeah, I know that we've got the same fiery Jersey blood, and it doesn't excuse my behavior. And I know that all the flights are canceled and no one can go anywhere anytime soon. But I just wanted you to say, go, enjoy yourself. Let me pretend to go. I'm not good at saying sorry, but I'm sorry. All will be well. You miarlo kukutsi. Ella, ella, ella. Great. Got a smile. Finally. Well, okay, I gotta go upstairs because Mrs. Osborne will be here with her seeing eye dog. Can I just store this here in the freezer? It doesn't smell yet. Thanks.
You're always subtracting 5. Except for 4 short weeks in March when the clocks change, then you only need to take away 4. You have to email first. They never answer the landline. We're not slaves to our phones, your mother tells you when you tell her off for not hearing the email ping saying the kids are ready. And then it's a series of false starts and someone's not charged or has forgotten their password. By the time you get going, it's nearly 5 o'clock in Tribeca and the kids have gone off the idea of playing with their grandparents on the screen. Finally, you make contact. I mean, it's not how it should be. You come to it frustrated. Mum looks tired and your dad, is he thinner? You wonder if there'll ever be a time when you'll all sit around a table together. You hear yourself inviting them for Christmas. I'll buy a blow-up mattress. You Google as you talk. Target on Greenwich has them, or order for pickup. 2 hours later, it's taking up half the space in your built-in closet. You remind your doorman they'll be coming. You go to Myers on Hudson to buy British food. It's 5 times the price of Tesco, but you want them to have everything they expect, you know, Christmas crackers, Cadbury Santa Clauses, a big tin of Quality Street, mince pies. And they're coming all this way. The day before, you watch the weather with the intensity of your nan, but instead of looking out the front door and sniffing the air and looking up at the grey sky, you're click, 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 clicking and refreshing your phone until you're sure. Storm so-and-so is creeping in. Ugh, BA are grounded. Your elderly parents are stuck in Heathrow, all because of you. And your great idea to spend Christmas together. I mean, they don't know whether to wait it out or give up and drive home, and you don't know either. It's at times like this, you feel a guilt you can't stomach. You grew up watching them take care of their parents. They shuttled them up for Sunday lunches and bought groceries, bleached front doorsteps. They called doctors and wrapped figurines in newspapers. They visited every care home to find the best one. But you're 2 kids deep in America. It's been years now, but you feel like you only just got here. You have a good life in New York. And they want that for you. We'd never hold you back. So you pay for flights and change flights, and you offer your apartment instead of a hotel, and in the meantime you video call. There'll be another time. The kids are so young, and your parents aren't old. The world is small, and there's nothing stopping you from getting on a plane any day and being together. So you wave, you talk through bad connections, you live on an island, but you're not stuck. You make plans. Spring 2020.
Space. The final frontier. You probably know how the rest of that goes. Maybe you're thinking of the halted, stinted speech pattern of one William Shatner. Maybe you're thinking of Patrick Stewart instead. You can probably even hum the theme. I've been thinking a lot about Star Trek recently. The first one, the original series. The first couple films before Kirk was fat running around San Francisco. My dad loved Star Trek. He introduced me to it. But that's not entirely true. I first encountered the cartoon on a Saturday morning. Do you know that one? Well, I watched the cartoon one Saturday morning, and when I told my dad what I'd watch, well, we started watching the original series every episode, 5 and 6 times each, together. His favorite was Uhura. Well, his favorite was Kirk, but he loved Uhura. Gee, I wonder why. Mine was Sulu. I always connected with him. Loved how he was a young lieutenant and then went on to become a captain. And I loved how there was this whole universe out there of spin-offs and novels and comic books and video games. And when George Takei showed up on Voyager, my dad had no use for anything other than the original, but I ate it all up. I still do. Yeah, well, I've been thinking a lot about the whole opening the last 4 years. I mean, in the 60s, my dad gets Star Trek. We get Space Force. If Gene Roddenberry could have seen his dreams, his utopia, his hopes for mankind just broken on the wreckage of the last 4 years. Well, the Muslim travel ban, the border wall, the rise in white supremacy. Yeah, I've been repeating it over and over in my head, almost like a mantra. It's 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations. My dad and I mean, my dad really respected Roddenberry's mission. He respected how Kirk did the whole Kobayashi Maru. And I know I'm going hardcore here, if you know what I mean, but we didn't see eye to eye on much else. But we always had Star Trek. Settling in on a Saturday afternoon to WPIX for a slew of reruns. A root beer for me, and a Rheingold for him. That's how I'd like to remember him. At the end of his life, my dad moved to El Paso, Texas. What was a Brooklyn Jew doing in El Paso, Texas? Following the next big thing or dream or scheme. My father was like that. He was always chasing the next big thing. This was long after my parents split up, of course. Roddenberry, I learned later, although he grew up in LA, he was born in El Paso. Strange new worlds, indeed. I always meant to try to reconnect with him. Maybe go out for a visit? Come back with a cowboy hat? I mean, wasn't Star Trek just a Western in space anyway? It never happened. He died out there under the scorching Texas sun. Another victim of the novel coronavirus. Roddenberry died years ago in '91, pulmonary arrest. A quarter ounce of his remains was launched into space, and in 2002, the rocket just disintegrated into the stars. How cool is that? To boldly go. Unfortunately, later we learned Dad died alone in his room, in the ICU at the University Medical Center in El Paso. I like to think that maybe there was a TV in his room, some cable channel showing old reruns of Star Trek, a nurse holding his hand while he drew his last breath on this earth. But in my mind, man, these are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
Yes, I'm Harold Millman's son. Hi, Paul. You look about 12. Sorry, I'm nervous. I haven't spoken with him in... No, it doesn't matter. Dad. It's me, Leo. Dad? Dad? Harold? In a coma. Anita didn't... His wife didn't tell me. Wait, oh, of course, with COVID, you guys must be swamped. My friend Cheryl, she's the one who got me to call. You don't know Cheryl. Why would you? You don't know me. Well, let's see. I'm a teacher, high school. I don't smoke anymore or drink. 6 years, 7 months, and 14 days sober. Thank you. I'm single. I was with someone for 18 years, but then he decided he needed to find himself. He found himself by sleeping with his very young therapist. So, yeah. I'm gay. What's that? You didn't know your only son was a Fagala? Ta-da. Paul? Paul? Yeah, I think we're done. A favorite song? Well, I don't think Life is a Cabaret is exactly fitting for the occasion. I'm a real show tune queen. Oh, you too? Well, there was a song he used to sing me at bedtime. I was maybe 4 or 5. It went something like, good night, sweetheart, till we meet tomorrow, or... No, you don't have to look it up. That's a... Yeah, that's it. Good old Bing. Good night, sweetheart, though I'm not beside you. Good night, sweetheart. Still my dreams will guide you. Dreams enfold you, and in each one I'll hold you. So I'll say, good night, sweetheart, good night. Okay, Dad. Hang in there.
My body is not my body. It is the memory of a body that hangs on a frame of bones and muscle and tissue and veins. I borrow the rest. It's not mine. One day I'll have to turn it in for something else. I know all this, and I am careful and shy about where I let it go. Sometimes. I feel loyal to these limbs that climbed trees and dug dirt and defended my life against a legion of woes. I know sometimes others borrow it, borrow this body, and I let it go. Sometimes. They need it more than me. On occasion, my grandmother, who died when I was 3, likes to come and write. She has things to say, so I let her. She's like that. I am named after her. Type Anna, I say, and she does. I let her put her face in the sun on a warm spring days so she can remember all that is good about living on the earth. Sometimes she grabs my stomach when she thinks there is something wrong. Sometimes she strokes my hand and says, "It'll be all right." That's Nana. My body is not my body. It's the memory of a body that hangs on a frame of bones and muscle and tissue and veins. It once belonged to a famous dancer named Anna Pavlova. She hasn't forgotten this for 1 second. She makes me dance till the sun comes up. That's okay, Anna, I tell her. Glad to help. It's when I stand in the grocery lines in the 4th position that has gathered some weird looks. But I don't mind. It's leaping from the earth I like the best. Across the wooden floor I go and up as if I will never come down. I had lessons once in some cruddy studio in West Miami. Anna hated that place and made me fall and trip till the teacher finally said, "Time's up." Now I dance at home alone or under the influence of beverages I will not name. She can't get her way all the time. I love to dance. My body is not my body. It's the memory of a body that hangs on a frame of bones and muscles and tissues and veins. It once belonged to a Komodo dragon that lived on an island off the coast of Africa. It makes me crave the sun, so I lay in it, stiff into motionless bliss. Now this makes Nana nervous. And Anna also complains. The freckles, the cancer, I know. I am not always so careful. I told you that. My body is not my body. It is the memory of a body that my children will one day find, curled up in a chair with a pen in my hand and a notebook in my lap, grateful for it all.
Oh my god, fucking finally. Cheers, bitch. Ugh. Anyways, what was I saying? Right, it was New Year's Eve, 2019 into 2020, and there was this magical feeling in the air. It seemed like anything was possible back then, didn't it? I never thought I'd do the Times Square thing. But my friend Mark's a waiter at this Italian place on 44th Street. They had a big New Year's Eve party. I wasn't gonna go, but he snuck me in at the last minute, and I ended up having the best time. At 11:30, everyone gets walked over to Broadway, And yeah, it's cold, but there are so many people that it somehow works out. The crowd is dense and it moved fast. And I lost Mark. And I just felt all alone there in a crowd at the center of the world and started freaking out. 45, 44, 43. What if something goes wrong and I'm all by myself? 42, 41, 40. And I must have looked panicked because this guy leans into me out of nowhere and I'm like, whoa. He looked just too perfect, you know? Eyes that blinked and cut to the core of my soul. You okay? He said. 35, 34, 33. You're really cute. 2020 is gonna be an amazing year. And I just nodded and smiled. And before I know it, the crowd's going nuts. And it's 3, 2, 1. And he leaned into me and planted the biggest, most wonderful, sensual kiss on my lips. And it was one of those moments, you know? I felt alive. I went home with him, of course. Gus. That's his name. We didn't exchange names until after we kissed. And I went back to see him the next night and the next. And soon we were cooking together and going to the gym and talking about doing gay couple things like getting a dog and going to Puerto Vallarta. He's a flight attendant and he didn't have to work for a few more weeks, so we really got to connect and ended up spending a lot of time and space together. Every night for a month, just the two of us. And then he had a flight. It was a Thursday, first week of February, and he flew to Rome. And I remember I had this feeling like he shouldn't go, you know? I didn't say anything. I didn't speak up, even though I had that little angel on my shoulder nudging me. Whole time he was gone, I felt uneasy. And when he came back, he was coughing a lot and felt sick, but swore it was his allergies. We had plans to see a movie, Bombshell, and he canceled on me, saying that he felt exhausted and that he needed to get some rest. Next day, I wake up to a text saying that he's going to the hospital and not to worry, he would be okay. I texted him to keep me updated and wrote that he owed me a proper movie night, followed by that little blonde emoji with the one arm up, real sassy like. He clicked to laugh at that emoji, and then that was it. I didn't really get a chance to meet any of his friends. I don't know any of his family, and none of them know me or got to know me, and I don't think they ever will. He didn't use social media, so I didn't know how to get a hold of anyone. Called the airline he worked for, but they couldn't provide me with any information. I called the hospital and they just put me on hold. And I tried again and again. And so finally, I got through to a nurse who told me that he, you know, he was from Houston. And he had a dimple right here. And a scar above his right eye right here. He had blue eyes and a laugh that made me laugh too. I just wish I would have told him not to go into work that day. You know, maybe if he hadn't gone on that flight, he wouldn't have. Or if I had spent the night with him, I could have helped to take him to a better hospital and he would have had a better chance or something. I don't know. Anyway, I just keep thinking to myself, what if? You know, what if?
Oh, baby, baby, good at thinking out loud, but not too good at keeping promises. No. Oh, did you fool yourself enough to be?
Julia!
Becky!
It's been ages.
Mm-hmm.
How have you been?
Super.
How are you liking,
Dallas. I moved last year.
Sorry, Dallas, of course.
It's nice. I have a great job, great apartment, great friends.
I'm doing really well, too.
Megan told me you're still at the apartment?
One of us had to, right? I mean, the view is to die for.
Great. So are we just catching up?
Sorry, no.
You said we needed to talk about Megan?
Megan and Jordan just bought a house.
For real?
For real.
Wow, that's
the definition of adulting.
Pretty much. Cool, thanks for letting me know.
Julia.
Becky.
We promised each other. The day we renewed our lease, we said whenever one of us buys a house, the other two will do something special. Right. So here we are.
Here we are.
So I was thinking something from Etsy, like some sort of one-of-a-kind artwork.
Great.
I would love to hear your ideas.
Oh, I'm terrible at this stuff. Just pick something, let me know how much I owe you.
Wow.
What?
I thought when you agreed to hop on this call that you and I could actually talk. But you really don't want to be here with me, do you?
That's not.
Not what? Why? Why you been avoiding me?
I just don't think I can contribute to this gift-giving situation planning thing.
Which is why you just, again, have been avoiding me?
I wasn't. Can we just not?
Not what? Try to be friends?
Becky.
Because that's what friends do when we hear about the other
Can we
person.
please just...
They don't just stop responding to texts and ghost them for months.
I wasn't ghosting you.
Right.
I'm here right now, aren't I?
Because I said this was about Megan, right?
Okay, fine. You want to know why I moved out, Becky?
I've only been begging you to tell me for 3 years.
I just sent an email to my entire office instead of just my boss. I want to die. If I don't get into grad school, I'm going to kill myself. Oh, I'm seriously dying. My mom's on Instagram.
What?
You said these things at the apartment 9 months after my brother tried to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh, God. I said these things to you?
Not to me, I'll give you that. You said it to Megan when you thought I was in my room and couldn't hear what you were saying.
Julia, that's just how people talk. I never even...
You know Zach. He's not just some idea to you.
Julia, that's not what I meant.
You saw him through his puberty years when he grew 5 inches and was trying to mask that his voice was changing. You taught him how to make spaghetti when my parents went on vacation. Zach is an actual person, you know, that was so depressed he tried to end his own life. And you're just saying things like that as if wanting to die is some kind of joke.
I would never. I never even, I didn't know he was still, I'm
No,
so-
he was still in treatment. It was a dark time for my whole family. Do you know how triggering it was to hear a comment like that? When you're worried sick, someone you love is actually going to kill themselves.
Julia, I'm so sorry. I
tried to pretend you didn't say those things and that I didn't hear them. But eventually I couldn't pretend anymore and I just moved out.
I don't know what to say. I never realized I did that or that he was still. I'm just really sorry. Those first few months, I thought about him all the time, you know. I wanted to ask you how he was doing, but I didn't know how to talk to you about him. I thought it wasn't going to come out right. God, I feel so stupid right now. I'm just really sorry. I wish you would have told me, but back then. I'm sorry I was such a terrible friend.
That's not. There are just times when certain friendships aren't helpful, you know?
Yeah.
You can get that.
Nah, it's okay.
Go ahead.
Are you sure? So let me take a second. Hey, babe. Is it urgent? I can't really talk right now. Okay. 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 I'll talk to you later. Love you too. Sorry about that.
No worries. So you have a babe and you love him too?
Yeah, I kind of do. He's really amazing.
I'm happy for you. Really. You deserve to finally be with someone great.
Finally, as opposed to what?
As opposed to that questionable guy you were dating when I moved out.
Questionable guy?
You know, the barista with the hipster mustache. I thought it was hilarious to sing opera to our seamless delivery guys. Terrible fashion sense. He was way too excited about the no pants subway ride and then came home and sat on our couch in the same boxers he wore on the subway.
Boone?
Boone! Oh my God, even his name. Megan and I hated that guy. You were so out of his league. I didn't even know where you found that weirdo.
Wow.
So I'm super happy that you finally found someone really great. Crap. So Boone is your
Beyonce.
Beyonce? Wow, Becky.
So you and Megan hated him. Good to know.
No, that was just a first impression. You guys were dating for what, like a month before I moved out? I'm sure he's amazing now.
Julia, you know what? I think I'm gonna go.
Becky, I didn't mean to.
Let's just forget about Megan's gift. You can just we'll just text each other, or I'll buy something and yeah, you can Venmo me or whatever. I don't really care. We don't have to do this.
Becky, wait.
And when Boone and I buy a house, I don't want you and Megan to get us anything. Okay?
Becky,
It Excuse me, I know the definition of the word prude. It just doesn't apply to me. Yes, I'm in the bathroom. No, I'm not taking a shit. No, Claudia, you're wrong. It's never too early for show tunes, and there's no limit to the volume with which one can listen to Rodgers and Hammerstein. I take offense at your statement. And I can hear you just fine. Now, what were you saying? Mom wants to smell Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina. Mom wants her vagina to smell like Gwyneth Paltrow. I mean, how does she even know what Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina smells like? Oh, would you stop? No, I'm not. I'm not uncomfortable. Pussy. Coos. Twat. Muff. Minnie. Meathead. Well, that one is a little misleading. I was struggling with the whole alliteration thing that I had going. So, we're not at all concerned with our mother's sudden interest in Gwyneth Paltrow. I mean, how does she even know who Gwyneth Paltrow is? What are they teaching them at that nursing home? Goop? You mean like sludge? That's a weird word, goop. Well, now that I say it out loud, I'm okay with it as a noun. But then when you add a Y to the end, and it becomes an adjective, goopy, creeps me out. I mean, it makes me feel dirty. Now, that is a word that I'm uncomfortable with. Goopy. Oh! Gwyneth Paltrow, goop. I get it. Wait, so what are we getting Mom for her birthday? Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle. Well, thanks for taking care of me. I mean, thanks for taking care of that for me. For us. Well, you never asked me that before. No, I know. It's just that, well, I never thought you wanted to know about that stuff. Oh, an excellent observation. I am happy. I am. I gotta go because he's, you know, even though I always said I never needed someone, with or without, because I've grown so accustomed to the without that I think it's making the with even better for now. He's waiting for me. Breakfast. Don't say I can't, because I can. I can say it. Boyfriend. I nicknamed him Meathead.
What's your morning routine? I love knowing people's morning routines. I kind of always want to ask about them even before all of this. When I'm at a party, it's sort of the only thing I want to talk about. My 10-year high school reunion is coming up. I can't stop thinking about it, which is strange because I hated high school. It's funny, really, that I became a teacher, considering how much I was, how much I didn't like being at school. I don't know if that says something good about me or something sad about me. Anyway, high school. What was I saying? Oh, right. Morning routines. I would so much rather know everyone in my high school's morning routine than their job or their marital status. I wish we could all gather around in a circle and just talk about whether we brush our teeth before or after we have our coffee. That would be really thrilling for me. I'm actually in my Zoom classroom right now. So pathetic. I sometimes come in here on the weekends, like on Saturdays. So stupid. I'm in here all damn day, all week long. And then Saturdays, I wake up, and I think it's because my morning routine is thrown off. I don't have a good Saturday routine. It's sort of like that feeling when you can't find your glasses, but they're just on your head. That's my whole Saturday. So I just come in here and I'll read or knit, or I've started doing watercolors, actually. I thought you would think that was neat. I told my kids I'll be in here on Saturdays. I wanted to make like office hours for them, but no one's come in yet, which I almost prefer. I don't know. I'd be excited if one of them wanted to come and talk on a weekend, but I don't want them to want that. I want them to do kid things. When you're a kid, you don't need a morning routine because every day feels so long, right? Remember Saturday mornings when we were kids? Just like watching cartoons, putting chocolate milk in our cereal. So fun. I really hope my kids are watching TV right now. Maybe that's a bad thing to want as a teacher, but that's what I want. My morning routine these days is pretty simple, actually. I just get up and I brush my teeth and I take the dog for a walk. And I listen to a podcast while I walk the dog, which is sort of sad because sometimes I hear birds chirping and I think, oh, that sounds nice. And then I just keep listening to my podcast. And then I get back and I make coffee and I toast a bagel and I sit on the couch and I give the dog 4 treats. And I eat my bagel and I drink my coffee and I make a list of all the things I want to tell you. And then I make my bed and get dressed and go to school. Anyway. Do you drink your coffee before you brush your teeth or after? I can't remember. No rush to respond, but I'd really like to know.
I did it. I told you that I would, and I did. I asked. I took your question to the Oracle. I haven't told you very much about how the Oracle works. It only accepts a certain type of question. First, you have to describe it 2 things, an input and a program. Then you ask the Oracle whether that program is able to run using the given input. And if the language you use is tidy and well chosen, the Oracle machine will always give you the correct answer, a yes or no. I couldn't ask your question the way you said it, out loud at the kitchen table over dinner. You said you had to know with absolute certainty, yes or no. You wanted a mathematically provable answer. And I knew I could get it. I just had to translate it into a language that the Oracle machine would understand. Well, so first I described us. I told the machine who we were. I fed it all the existing data on file about the 2 of us. The stuff the census publishes, the stuff that corporations sell. So the machine now knew all the places we'd ever been, everything we'd ever purchased, how we met, every single day we'd spent together. But I told the Oracle even more. I let it into my mind. I told it how I felt about you. And maybe this is wrong, but I assumed that you felt the same way about me. And then I told the machine a story. I worded it very carefully. It was a story about 2 people who were happy together for as long as they lived. And then your question. Using the given input, will the program run? You wanted a yes or no. You know something? The Oracle machine actually knew. I did ask your question. I'm telling you the truth. I wouldn't go back on my word. But before I asked your question, I modified the Oracle. I used what's called a pathological program. I programmed it to lie, to give me the exact opposite answer of what it needed to be correct. And then I asked the oracle your question. But I added these words: will your following answer be correct? Can you tell me the truth? There's no way the oracle can answer now. It can't say yes. It can't say no. The oracle can't even understand itself. What good is a machine like that? What use can it be to us if we don't understand ourselves? I don't want the oracle's answer. I want yours. So I'm about to ask you, and first I need to know, can you tell me the truth? Yes or no?
Resilient ones, brave and beaming souls, welcome. We are about to banish the repressive capitalist energy from our spiritual environments using the alchemy of nature and the power within our essential selves. Are you ready? It's time for some Sage Against the Patriarchy. We must remain grounded as we cast a protective spell around our spiritual environments. Inhale gratitude. And as you exhale, expand your field of vision. Look around your environments with new eyes. Let your gaze come to rest upon an everyday object of toxic masculinity. Like this, a seemingly innocuous drinking glass. But is it? What caustic lies have we swallowed while listening to the giver of this glass? What insane messages have we ingested? What? Never mind. The answers do not matter. Our task is to release the negative energy. We purify. We fortify. We release the patriarchal poison. Can you feel the vibrations of truth? We are about to be free. Okay, put the glass down. Don't think, just grab the next toxic item blocking your path. Like this. Is this an everyday capitalist artifact or the object of degradation someone waved in your face when he said you're not qualified to be his maid? Remove it from your sacred space. Cast it out. Throw it in the trash now. Holy shit. Do you feel it? That sensation in your gut? The knots of oppression are unraveling. The oppressive energies have been released from every object in our spiritual environments. Move around your sanctuary. Move with me. Feel the freedom in every inch of your spiritual space. The living room, the doorway, the kitchen, No. Do you see it, brave ones? Do you see the depravity I have to banish? Clean the fridge. I'm not fit to be a maid, but I'm supposed to clean the fucking fridge. Well, the joke's on him. The joke's on all the condescending douchebag ex-boyfriends. I cleaned Brody out of my apartment yesterday. Today. Our shared spirit has freed our sanctuaries from toxic masculinity. We have returned to nature, to our true nature. And to hell with the idiotic post-it notes. To hell with you, asshole. To hell with you, and we offer thanks to nature. Or to freedom. To
So, what inspirational Instagram account do I blame for this, whatever we're doing?
You promised.
I promised to be here, to engage. I didn't promise to be excited about therapy sans therapist.
It's only without the interference of an intermediary can two souls.
No souls. If we're banning words, I'm banning souls.
Well, we only get one forbidden word or phrase each, and you already picked mine.
Fine. What if I say mine in French?
You don't speak French.
I could have learned.
In the last 2 weeks?
I'm a fast learner.
I know. Okay, I think that to get the full benefit of the exercise, you should avoid the phrases in all languages.
Well, I would hate to walk away with just half the experience.
How are you?
Annoyed.
I mean, in general, less this moment.
I stand by it. And you?
Really?
I knew you'd slip first.
I'm
Do
sorry.
I get a prize?
No. I'm sorry. I'll be more careful going forward.
Your stupid game, and you lose first.
No one is winning, Robin.
Oh, but if there was a winner, it would be me. Whatever. Since this is supposed to be making us hyper aware of the power of our word choices, did you hear it?
Hear what?
Hear all the stuff you didn't say when you said, really? Robin, you're such a bitch. You leave me incredulous with your level of bitchness.
No, I didn't hear that. But that's not... The point of this exercise is actually to listen to what the other person doesn't say.
Even being right with you sucks.
Robin, I don't want to fight.
When you start a conversation with a list of forbidden phrases, you can guess it's not going to be a friendly chat.
There are other things, though, in between friendly chat and fight. Or maybe on either side. Oh my gosh. Did you watch the new episode last night?
Yes. Thank God they ended it.
What? They didn't. No, the cabin, I mean.
I know what show you were talking about, Celia. The one show in this peak TV universe we could ever agree on. What do you mean they didn't end it? Have those energy sessions gotten you on some kind of vibration that makes your body shut down when it senses a breakup? Are there like 7 minutes of your life from last night you don't remember?
Okay, I haven't been to an energy session in months. And that's not what They said pausing. That's literally the line.
Maggie said they were pausing. Russ sobbed and nodded and got on a plane to go to medical school in Siberia.
Exactly. Yes, he'll be back in 3 years.
Celia, Siberia, like the cliche for the last 100 years where they send people you're never going to hear from again. The first half of the episode was Maggie trying and failing to find a cafe of some kind that had serviceable Wi-Fi in the med school town. You can't pause your entire life for 3 years.
Yes, you can. And they will. They are not going to let a stupid little obstacle get in the way of true love.
Ugh, really wish I could have banned true love, too.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, they're feisty today.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. Continue. You're going to accuse me of being a loveless and cold monster.
You really think they broke up?
I think they broke up. They think they broke up. The entire internet thinks they broke up.
Then why say pause?
Because we're awash in euphemisms. Because saying it directly is a little too scary. Because one of them knows that if they say it actually say it's over, the other person is going to dissolve in a puddle of silvery goo like Alex Mack.
Yeah. Really do come in handy for her sometimes. And when you subtweet me in real life, that means that I get to pick and choose the implications. So when you say that your skin is so glowy, that means that it looks like I'm radioactive.
If your skin was actually radioactive, it would be melting off your face.
Yeah, in the real world, not the world of Nickelodeon tween shows, which is the world you let us into.
Are you done?
Oh, now who's losing?
Whatever, I lasted longer than you did.
Aren't you interested at all in what I hear?
What? I couldn't be more straightforward. You went on this long and winding thing, and I was wondering when you would be done soon, and I was tired of waiting, so I asked for confirmation if you would be done soon.
Celia, in this relationship, I'm only interested in a human being, in any human being really, just sitting across from me, listening to my deep thoughts and my interesting ideas, and whenever the other human being decides to open her mouth, I'm just waiting for her to shut it again.
I think this would have gone better if we'd done it in French.
Yeah.
I wasn't always listening, but I wasn't always not listening, you know?
Yeah, I know. You get why that would never be enough, right?
Is it supposed to feel better knowing?
Knowing what?
Knowing we were always doomed?
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe it's less guilt that we couldn't make it work.
I have to go. I gotta pick up some things. We can do this again next week. Maybe we'll be better at avoiding the words next time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably have plans next week. So I'll be busy. Let's just talk again when Russ gets back from Siberia.
Oh boy, that was not a good take, Elliot, but you're gonna get it, alright? Come on. Alright. Does it look like I'm done yet? Would I still be down here recording this video audition if I was done yet? We will still have dinner, and I will still make it, and you will still eat it, and thank the good Lord that you lived to see another day without dying of starvation, regardless if I was done yet or done later. I'm making Auntie Rose's French onion soup tonight. That sound okay? So, what, you don't like the soup or something? You know the one I'm talking about, though. It's that soup with the melted cheese. You like it. Remember? It's the one we'd have when we were watching the Chicago Bulls play. Well, peak Michael Jordan seasons anyway. Auntie Rose was in the kitchen all night taking a shot of brandy. Each time she added a shot to the broth. You were little, I guess. We both were. But it is a damn good soup, and that is what we're having tonight, okay? Wait. Ooh. Okay, you might not remember this, but there's one time it's... Oh, is that centered to you? Okay. So this one time, Alex and Liz had just gotten engaged. You were like maybe 2 or 3, I guess. And Auntie had been getting sloshed in the kitchen, making the soup for brunch, and the family had been talking about Thanksgiving plans. So she's finishing fussing in the kitchen. She sits down at the table and rips off her Sunday apron. You remember that apron, that awful paisley army green and mustard yellow apron she wore. Is just so stupid. But she, we're talking about Thanksgiving, and she's sitting at the table, and she's all offended that she missed out on the conversation. You know she wanted to be a martyr, but I'm not going to say anything. And Auntie's all like, what's with all these travel plans? Anyone think that maybe I would like to come along? And Liz chimes in, all nervous and quaking in her knockoff Jimmy Choo boots. She's trying to make a good impression into the family she's marrying into. And she's all like, yes, of course, Auntie. You'll actually be staying with us. Well, Auntie starts welling up and slapping the table and clapping her hands and hooting. You remember that hoot? That woohoo! Auntie Rose, always with that woohoo! So she's more excited than we've ever seen her. And she's fanning herself with her napkin. And she's all like, oh, I'm so honored. Oh, thank you. I'm so honored. You done good. You done right by me, sweetie. Then we realize that somehow in that well-lubricated, stupid brain of hers, she got it twisted and did not know that we were talking about Thanksgiving. She thought she had just received a personal invitation to stay with Alex and Liz for their wedding. She thought she was going to stay with them on their wedding night. Hey, you should have seen the way Liz was nervous trying to talk herself around that one. Can you imagine Liz and Alex trying to get freaky with Auntie watching? Oh, God. Weird thing is, I don't think she would have minded. You know, Auntie always wanted to be included. Didn't want anything to happen without her. You know, wanted to know it all. You know, when I went to my prom, she didn't want that basic staged heinous picture that everyone got from the high school photographer. No, she wanted to know what the first song they played was, what I had for dinner, who my friends couldn't handle their liquor, why my patent leather was scuffed when I came home. And when I was running late, she didn't bust my chops about making her wait or telling me how selfish it was. She'd ask me what I was doing, if I was okay, or if there's anything that she could have done to help. See, and that was the most foolish thing about her. Just so invested in everyone else and is so concerned with wanting to know everything and so proud of being a busybody that she didn't take a goddamn moment to take care of herself or see the signs or look what was right in front of her. Didn't think past that day or that moment or what we'd all be left with if she... Oh, am I wasting your time? Don't have time to pay some damn respect. Or even ask me if I'm feeling excited or good about this audition. Yeah, for fuck's sake. I'm sorry to waste your time. No, I'm not done yet. Get lost. I'll be out to start dinner in an hour. You got this.
I'll have another, please. I normally don't drink this much. Or at all. I just really don't like feeling out of control. I don't. I'm one of those people who don't like surprise parties or last minute romantic weekend getaways. I read the last page of a book before I start it just to make sure that there is a happy ending. I hate surprises. So, see, I'm normally more of a coffee drinking kind of gal. Like this morning, I went to go get coffee because I've been up for 3 days with Annie. She'd been sick for a while, but this morning she was stable. She'd had a good night. So I went to go get coffee. I've been sitting here trying to think of what the last thing I said before I left the room was. And I keep replaying it and replaying it. But each time there's just something slightly different, like the nurse's hair color changes, or I say goodbye, or I don't say anything. I can't remember. It happened this morning and I can't remember. But I remember there was coffee. So. My best friend died today. It sounds really weird hearing those words come out of my mouth. My best friend died. She's dead. He's dead. I'm sorry. I really shouldn't be laughing. It's not funny, but I don't normally drink. And I haven't slept in 3 days. I can't remember the last thing I said to her. Words. Trip over them. Swallow them. Overthink them. Mix them up. Say the wrong ones. It's just, they scare me. A lot of things scare me, so I avoid them. You're probably thinking, well, I'm not avoiding them. Words I mean now, but I am. See? I am avoiding them now. I mean, it's not a stupid thing to be scared of. They're just sounds. Sounds that have the ability to change us. Our lives. You can say a whole lot of words and say nothing at all. And say none and say everything. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? I mean, her name is just sounds now. Annie. Can I have another one? Because, oh, the thing is, bartender man, the thing is that she was perfect. And I know that people say there's no such thing, but she was perfect. I never told her that. I never told her. I'm scared and I hate surprises, and I was scared of what the world would do with them, with the words that I couldn't say, what she would do with them, what we would do with them. It's too late now. I went and got coffee. And now I have this heaviness in my chest, like I can't breathe. It's right here. And I think it's from the words that I couldn't say. Or my heart is breaking. Each shattered sliver, a reminder of a word that never got a chance to live. Like she doesn't get to live. And I mean, where do you think they all go? The unsaid words, because I don't know that I can live like this with them, with my unsaid words inside of me, stuck inside of me. These little ships that never made it to their destination, and now I have to sink them, or I'm gonna drown. And I just don't know what to do. My chest is heavy and I can't breathe, and my lungs are filled with coffee and whiskey and guilt, and I can't breathe. Damn it, I really am. I'm gonna die too. And I think it's because they're choking me. I just should have said that I loved her, right? Is that so hard? I loved her. Why couldn't I make those sounds? Why didn't I tell her that I loved her? God, I am in love with her. And what am I supposed to do with that now? What am I supposed to do? She's gone. And I am just stuck here with these words that cut me every single time that my heart beats. And God, my heart gets to beat. It's just not fair. My beating heart. And you know what? I did. I knew the ending.
and I read the book anyway. I'm pissed at her. She gets to be peaceful, and I'm here. I am stuck here with these words that I'm gonna have to carry around forever. Can you imagine all of the things that people just did?
I really enjoy working holidays. Instead of my usual welcome, can I help you find anything? I get to say, Happy St. Patrick's Day or Happy Labor Day. I sometimes stretch it with the lesser known holidays like Pi Day or Belizean Independence Day. Depends on the manager on duty. Kathy says I make customers uncomfortable and not to get wise with her. I try to tell Kathy I don't say that to everyone, only to the people I know will want to talk to someone. I get a sixth sense for it as a greeter. It's something about their gait, how fast they approach the doors. Anyone who gets impatient waiting for automatic doors to open does not have time for small talk. Oh. Beer! Aisle 11. Diapers. Aisle 8. Carrots, ice cream, toothpaste, crackers. Aisles 2, 8, 12, and 4. Senior citizens who stop to read all of the notices on the front bulletin board, just in case anything changes, it never does. We'll have a full conversation. Today this guy walks in. He's been here before, but he still shuffles around like he doesn't know where he's going. So I ask if he needs help, and he asks if we can return this big bottle of vitamins. I point to customer service. He doesn't move. So I ask if he's looking for something. But suddenly he can't remember what the word is. Napkins? Huh, aisle 6. He's frustrated. He still can't remember the word. Finally he says, like, women's stuff? No. Pads? It's not for me, it's for my wife. I always find it funny when men say that. It makes me want to say, I buy tampons too, and they are for me. But I just say, aisle 8, and happy Arbor Day. He asks if we're celebrating that made-up holiday now too. I say I just really like holidays. Then he asks if I've ever considered that other people might be miserable, that they might prefer to be left alone. I apologize and ask if there's anything else he needs, and he explodes. Pads! Women's pads! And then, I'm sorry. I'm just having a really difficult day. The top of his mask is damp. I tell him it's okay. Then he catches me off guard. He asks how many people have yelled at me just for being friendly today. People are going to be miserable. There's nothing you can do to help. Isn't it better just to leave him alone? I tell him sometimes it's important to know that someone else is there for us. Even if we can't accept help right now, it's important to know it's just within reach whenever we're ready. Rolls the pink vitamin jar in his hands. He asks if we sell flowers. I'll too. And those little bottles of iced tea, the ones with the green caps and the white flowers that are way too expensive, I'll for. Thank you, he says. And happy Arbor Day to you too. So yeah, my day has been pretty great. Thanks for asking.
Ebony and ivory, little
Hello, everyone, and welcome to White Chick on a Phone. And more importantly, thank you. Thank you for your time and your love over the past year. Your support of my Instagram dream has been astounding. My first live stream of White Chick on a Phone was a rallying cry, and you, my loves, heeded the call. You have been a balm to my weary soul. And I know you've been waiting patiently for my big announcement about my future, and it is big, my loves. But first, I want you to hear something because it is life-changing, okay? Listen. Silence, my loves. Hear it, feel it, sense it. Yes! Oh, it is right there for us always. Silence. So simple, so reachable, and yet it took us 4 years to figure it out. Or rather, it took social media CEOs 4 years to figure it out because they sold their souls for money. I guess they didn't scream at their phones like we did, didn't mute, didn't delete and turn off every screen and unfriend and unfollow and unhinge like we did. And if they did, I guess they didn't realize that his words would still reach us because we talked, texted, and worried. Did you see the tweet? Know what he said on Facebook? More words, more noise. White noise, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Just let's stop for a moment. I mean, really. And listen to it because the silence shows us how powerful those words were now that they're gone, my loves. So for all of you still watching, because I know most of you can't handle silence without scrolling, if you're still watching, well, God bless you. The announcement. That's why you're here. And I'm about to tell you because I can't delay it anymore. White Chick on a Phone is going silent. I know, my loves. This was a very hard soul-searching decision, but there is so much noise out there still, even without him. White noise. And I fear I'm part of it. And you might be too. You know what we should do when we see a white chick on the phone, or any white person on the phone for that matter? Call the police. We don't deserve phones. We send black people to jail, watch them die in the streets, and then threaten violence to our elected leaders. We create chaos and then post joyfully about the carnage on social media. And not all white people. I assume there are some good white people, so just be silent, white people. Just listen to someone other than ourselves for once. And no one is taking away your freedom of speech. Remember that 8th grade history class that told us shouting fire in a crowded movie theater is not free speech? Well, it is time to stop shouting fire. White people are the problem. We are the ones who need to be racially profiled, the ones who should sit down and shut up. I want you to join me in putting down your phones. Be silent. Listen. Okay? Do that for me, for each other, for the world. We have been heard. It is time to hear. Thank you, my loves. This is not goodbye. It is hello as we join together in silence. So I will be keeping my page active for 24 hours just to hear your comments about silence. And then I will be silent. Signing off now. White Chick off the phone. Seriously? We just talked about the first